Hey guys, so here bringing you another video. Welcome back to another Viewer Spectate. So today we are actually on the mighty NA, North America. It did just take me a solid, I want to say 20 minutes or so, maybe a bit longer, to actually recover my NA account because I completely forgot all the details for it. But I am pleased to say we have fully recovered the Huzzy NA account. So at any time now, I could just jump on NA. I don't know if we want to play ranked NA. We might just give it a go. I did get, I think, Diamond 2 on North America all the way back in Season 4. And that was with 180 ping as well. So it'll be interesting to see what ping I get, actually. We might check that after this game just to see what ping I get. But today, we are watching I Am Fighter. I Am Fighter also just did 100 biddies in chat. Says, welcome to NA Bronze Solo Queue, where Huz can't remember his username and LP gains don't exist. Okay, we're doing whose line is it anyway, I think. So yeah, we're in bronze, as I Am Fighter just kind of gave away. Bronze 1 to be precise. He is, a couple years ago, a silver 2 peak player. And is an AD carry player that mainly plays Ashe, Kai'Sa, and Jhin. I asked a few questions, kind of, again, this is the benefit of doing these live with the person watching, is I actually can talk to them and ask them some questions like we did with Celestial with Orianna. And I said, you know, is there anything you want me to know? Any, you know, weaknesses or strengths? So Fighter said is more utility based and is trying to become more aggressive in their playstyle, hence why they've picked up Kai'Sa and is playing Kai'Sa. So that is the vibe. Hey Zaratha, how you doing? So weird, obviously, again, when you're in bronze, you can obviously get some odd picks. You've got Tryndamere jungle on the enemy team. It's a bit weird. You've got Malphite support, is a bit weird. And hell, even Karma mid with Dark Harvest is a little bit weird. It has to be said, but that is just kind of the more, you know, that's normal, you could say, the lower rating you end up, or the lower rating you are, because people are a little bit less serious and they just kind of, which is fine, they play completely for fun, and you know, if someone finds Malphite fun and they support this game, they're just going to play Malphite support, you know, that's the nature of solo queue sometimes. So far, level 1, nothing major to obviously point out. Obviously, you want to try and avoid as much as you can taking damage, and the kind of I would say the nature of a Soraka lane is, you know, sometimes you can say poking out or doing damage directly to a Kog'Maw is kind of pointless, because all that's going to happen is he's going to get healed up by a Soraka. So usually the point of call, and you know, taking a few autos, usually the point of call is trying to focus the Soraka, because she can't easily heal up herself. She has to land her Qs. But a lot of Sorakas, like this one, is playing very defensive. She is playing very much behind the Kog'Maw most of the time, so you can't easily get to her. So when this happens, you need to kind of be aware of that and basically think, limit my damage input, because we don't have sustain like they do. Try not to take free autos, because they can sustain, you can't, and maximize your farm. That's the mentality that I would go. And even so much saying, like, sometimes a certain item can get you really into that mentality, and that is Cull. I know some people might be thinking, oh, you're going to try and go, you know, you're buying a Cull against a Kog'Maw. But yeah, sometimes it's the thing to do. It gives the message that you're here to farm. You're not really actively going to look for fights. And then what I would say at level 6, the combination of Malphite and Kai'Sa really gives you a very powerful engage on pretty much either of them. Again, arguably, I would focus the Kog'Maw. No, sorry, the Soraka. But if the Kog'Maw is out of position, then it's not too bad. So again, not too great trading. Have to be very careful. Burnt heal. And again, that's what we've already mentioned a few times, is the Kog'Maw you're trading actively against, and he's already getting healed back up to full health. So Fighter just said, you really wish you didn't have a Malphite support for this lane. You really wanted to go more aggressive early, but Malphite gave me no pressure. So I took more damage than I should, trying to get him to play more forward. Yes, honestly, I can kind of see that already. Ghost by Kog'Maw, bit of a weird use there. Back away. Don't take too many autos. You've used heal. I would completely back out of this. As sucky as it is, I wouldn't even stick around. I think it's risky to stick around. If you get hit by a few things, you're potentially dead. Your heal's already been burnt. And so far, which you'll obviously be aware, the trust in this Malphite is quite low, I would say. So I potentially, as sucky as it is, maybe, you know, maybe I would have already gone back by now. If you're not getting in the range of XP anyway, then you may as well. But yeah, you know, farm-wise, you're still doing fine, but the longer you stay in this situation, you're going to get behind in farm eventually. And it depends, if you stay longer, you're going to lose even more farm than if you just went back and got back to lane with full health. What would have been nice, I would say, would have been an Echo gank there, because obviously that would have alleviated the pressure. Tryndamere, which we're seeing all chat, which is kind of weird, is asking, did he steal blue? Just to say, don't give that information, obviously. If a jungler's asking the other jungler, did you steal blue? Don't say yes. Keep him in the unknown. It's a bit weird that Tryndamere is asking that question, if I'm completely honest, but it is what it is. What? But yeah, honestly, not too bad. Again, the early game has not gone perfect, far from. And yeah, Fido, who is in chat, is basically like saying, yeah, Echo was doing the crab bot side, was hoping for a gank there instead. I'm not sure if you actually did any pings. Yeah, you didn't. From what I can see, you didn't really do any pings. I would have pinged a couple times there. And I think the idea was, oh, I've just come back. I've got 2 items. Maybe I can damage the Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw is a surprisingly strong champion, even in early game nowadays. And he had a minion wave with him. So I would have been... And a Soraka advantage lane is always going to have the health bar resource more than you. Even if he gets low, Soraka will get him back up. So you should be really focusing on keeping your health bar as healthy as possible. And I know that sounds very basic and dumb, but it's true. Don't take trades. Like, this type of lane is genuinely a lane that I wouldn't actively trade with them. I would be fairly passive. I would farm as much as you can. If you see a kill, go to this chat. I don't know. Ask the jungler for a gank. That is in the early game, that is the only time that I would potentially go aggressive against this bot lane, because again, you're actively not trading well, and I will say you're not also trading well. Weird aggression by Soraka there. Soraka uses double sums. Again, that was a bit weird by the enemy team. You're actively not trading well also, and it's like what Fighter mentioned earlier, you have a Malphite support. Malphite support is awful. And, you know, as sucky as it is, sometimes, you know, the thing with bot lane, you're a duo lane. Your lane is determined by how you're doing. You'll walk away, but also your support. Again, taking a couple too many autos for free. But again, this game is so far going to be fairly frustrating, annoying to play. Does have heal available. Just make sure you don't get hit. Did get hit, unfortunately, there. And now having to go back, unfortunately. Again. But yeah, don't take trades. That's, to me, so far... the biggest thing is you're actively trying to trade them. You're actively trying to fight them when you should just be... I know it's really boring, but just play really passive. Let the wave push to you, and then that also would likely get Echo to come bot lane more as well. You know, you've also got a Yasuo mid lane. I'm guessing, just a guess, that Yasuo was picked before the Malphite, and I'm guessing the Yasuo, the Malphite probably picked it to get that knock-up combo for the Yasuo eventually. It wouldn't even surprise me if they were duo or anything of that nature. But yeah. Someone is asking what supports would you play with Kai'Sa. Weirdly, similar ones to Malphite, but actually proper support champions. An engaging support is what you generally want, that provides CC, because that enables, obviously, Kai'Sa's passive, sort of ultimate, etc. really well. Malphite doesn't really give you trade in lane. It doesn't give you any type of big engage until he's level 6. So Nautilus, Leona... Those are the two that I would recommend the most. She does work with, like, Enchanter supports as well. Not terribly. But, yeah. Volibear top lane roaming. Kind of out of nowhere, has to be said. So 3-man here. Weird ultimate by Echo. W by Kai'Sa coming down. Flank potentially is on. Let's see what can happen. Malphite does have ulti, but unfortunately he's going to die. Gets the nice flank there. Malphite double ulti, but there's nothing to gain from it, unfortunately. Tryndamere still has ulti. And yeah, Volibear top. Not really sure why he's here right now, unless they were thinking that, oh, if we get some kills, we'll then translate it into the dragon, maybe? But still, that is a little bit odd. Tryndamere very low. Doesn't have ultimate anymore. Kai'Sa flash, unfortunately, out of range. It does happen. Ultimate by Lilia. Kog'Maw double summoning, and that will go down, unfortunately. So pretty messy fight. Pretty messy fight. Again, it's hard to completely kind of go, oh, that was wrong and that was wrong, because that was just odd. All I would say, Fighter, is obviously what got you eventually killed was going for the aggressive flash to try and sneaky get the Tryndamere. I would have potentially obviously played a little bit more back. Because again, the enemy bot lane wasn't there. You know they're on their way. Like, that's what you've got to think is this is a big fight. The enemy bot lane isn't here right now. They are on the way somewhere. So I would have been a bit more reserved. You know, yeah, try to reduce that excitement, which I know is hard to do. And I think that would have probably, you know, you might have not died or play the fight a bit slower. And I think that would have been a lot more beneficial. But other than that, it's good that you roamed there. It's good that you went there. Again, a lot of AD carries or a lot of players wouldn't go there. They would be like, nope, I'm AD carry, I'm farming bot lane, I'm not moving. Again, a great example of that is by now that video would have been out. We had that Aphelios in my first game when we were in Master. Meanwhile, the dragon's being done now and is going to get eventually stolen and does get stolen. That's unfortunate. I will say there is definitely a big Fiesta undertone to this game. Both top laners died in that fight, or people die, and then everyone just goes back to Dragon instantly. It's very weird. Jungle, thank you so much for the 2 months of Prime. Appreciate it. So again, what I want to watch with Fighter, good Malphite ultimate. Look at the positioning. It's playing the fight slowly. You can just play it slowly. Positioning a bit too far up. So again, I would play it slowly, be on the edge of it, then look for the aggressive pick when you know you can get it. Now try to survive, I would say. I would be running away at this point, to be honest. I wouldn't be trying to continue the fight and will go down eventually. I like that you were playing that passive and smart. And then you do get, oh, there is the kill that I can get on Kog'Maw. He separated himself. After that point, I do think you should have probably tried to back away. Maybe you were like, oh, we can get that kill. But yeah, I think knowing your limits is always a good idea. And I think you just overstepped it a little bit, but again, that's fine. It's a bit of a fiesta. The game's absolutely nuts right now, and when a game is a fiesta, etc., you kind of get wrapped up in it and you play more aggressive. You go for crazier plays because that's the nature of the game. So yeah, like that, again, it's a thing to improve, but it's nothing major because I probably would have still died there too. Whoa, Soraka's calling Echo a nerd. Whoa. Yeah, I don't know why we're getting all typing. Like, we watched a replay last game. Celestial was on EU West. This is now NA. If we can see all chat, that means no one last game typed in all chat, and now we're getting all typers in NA. I don't know if maybe NA types in all chat more. I've got no idea. But yeah. What rating is this game? This is Bronze 1 on North America. So yeah, buys and executioners. Executioners, I want to say it doesn't offend me. Obviously, naturally, you're against a Soraka, so it's going to be a good item against Soraka. Obviously, it delays your own initial power spike, and it's that kind of question of, do you feel right now you can kill them in a 2v2? How's it going, Creeper? So that's what I would say, is it delays your personal power spike for giving anti-healing, and I'm not 100% sure right now you guys even have kill pressure on the enemy team. So that if you don't have kill pressure on them, I would personally stick to getting your bigger power spike of your mythic item. That's what I would personally say. Yasuo getting a double kill. So I will say I'm not entirely sure. I don't know if Fighter remembers if the Yasuo was a Smurf. Basically, the name is a temp name, which usually indicates it's some type of botted leveled account. And there's clearly a very big difference in mid also. Double farm is the Yasuo, so I'm not sure if Fighter remembers if he was a Smurf or anything like that. But yeah, what I would say, and part of it we definitely have to talk about, is mental strength on having a Malphite support. Now, I don't want to, you know, if there's anybody watching who likes Malphite support, I personally don't, and I think Malphite support is pretty bad. It offers you literally nothing as a AD carry in the first 5-6 levels of the game, and after that point it only offers you an ulti. Like, that's all it really does. There are a lot better support. Like, Leona is literally just a better version of Malphite support. Nautilus is a literally better version of Malphite support. It will be frustrating for Fighter to lane with this Malphite. We've all been there. It is frustrating when you're playing Kai'Sa, you're against a Kog'Maw. He's definitely, you know, Kai'Sa's not bad in scaling, obviously, but Kog'Maw is the late game scaling AD carry. It's frustrating to play with something when you want to win lane, you're against the hyper late game carry. We need to try and win lane, and you're not, mainly because you've got an awful support. That is frustrating. So keeping your mental in it, being even on farm, or technically a little bit ahead, doing fine with KD, these are all really good things. This shows that you're not letting that kind of distract you or tilt you too much. You can put it to the side. Yes, it's frustrating, but I'm going to keep trying to play to win. That is a really good thing too. Yeah, some people are saying Rell. You could add Rell to that list, but I just think Rell herself is a weaker version of Leona and Nautilus, to be honest. It's kind of like Malphite. Well, I'd say Rell is better than Malphite in support, but when Nautilus and Leona exist, I just don't think there's any reason not to play those. Unless your pure enjoyment is playing Rell, or pure enjoyment is playing Malphite support for some reason. All right, enemy team looking for that kind of weird gank. They don't get it. Dragon's coming up very soon. I didn't put timers on, apparently. There you go. Oh, this could be a really good pick. Looking for the damage. Just get the flash. Yasuo. Okay, that's not a Smurf. Well, if it is a Smurf, it's... yeah. That was a free kill on the jungler when Dragon's coming up. That was a higher value kill than the Kog'Maw at that stage of the game. Soraka gets on a killing spree of the Malphite. Yasuo will get finally the kill on Volibear, and Echo goes down also. Again, I would say look to be aggressive. Not that aggressive, but that's fine. Again, the idea is there. I just wouldn't go right on top of the enemy team. Oh, right. Yeah, Volibear's the... Oh, God. So my apologies. Volibear's the top laner, so I thought he was a high kill because that would get rid of the smite for the dragon. But no, Tryndamere's the jungler. Again, okay, that's really weird, but still. So Tryndamere, I don't know where he's been the last while. Where he died, I guess, and then he's come over. Yasuo is still full health, has ultimate up available. Kai'Sa, fighter struggling with mana, but I think we had vision of actually people basing there, so that actually opens this up. I'd at least go scout that to make sure Tryndamere isn't doing it sneaky, and that's what these two are doing, and he's not, which is good. And yeah, I would agree with what Fighter's doing right now. Push one more minion wave. After pushing the minion wave, I would go over to do the dragon with your team. You know the dragon wants to be done. Everybody's around the area, and so push that up, go over to the dragon, potentially. Because again, okay, looking for the tower instead. That's again not too bad, but you're losing the window of when the dragon was free. Never mind, that window is opened up for free again because Volibear went top. This Volibear has some weird timings of when he's doing things, because it looks like he's going down to do the dragon, and then he's returned to top lane when the dragon's not been done. So a little bit weird there, but that's still good for blue team. So obviously at this stage of the game, no mythic yet. Hopefully mythic after this base. Oh no, we've broken it. Again, just looking at the scoreboard, somebody absolutely breaks it. There we go. 1,500 gold. Does get their first, does get their mythic item. Kraken Slayer has been purchased, which is, I believe, personally, I think the correct decision. Some people may say, you know, do you think Shield Bow would have been a shout this game? Well, first thing is Gale Force you never need on Kai'Sa, clearly. Your ultimate you can reposition. Your E you can go stealth and reposition. It's between Kraken or Shield Bow. In theory, the enemy team, the only ones that are going to be directly on top of you are Volibear and Tryndamere, and I honestly think Kai'Sa with her E and her ulti can reposition enough that she doesn't need Shield Bow to kind of survive. So I think Kraken is the completely right call here. I think it's great. But yeah, gets Kraken, tier 2 boots. Gets, I believe what we just saw was, by the way, the first upgrade, which is good. So everything's going well. For what I would say a rough lane phase of unfortunately not being able to snowball and win that lane, everything is fine. There's nothing too negative so far about the game. Obviously, we've seen a couple of Fiesta fights. We've seen a little bit of over-aggression by Fighter in some places, and that, I think, is just the nature of the game we're in. Again, look at that over-aggression. Uses heal. So that's the type of thing. You've got to be very careful with that over-aggression. I'd say right now, if I had to say any weakness that I can spot, it's that slight over-aggression that then occasionally gets you in some tricky situations positioning-wise. Bit of an odd engage there, and that's a dead Yasuo. So that was unfortunate. Shutdown for Tryndamere. Not exactly the person that you want to give a shutdown to. And this potentially is a kill, but I think the Kog'Maw is going to back away. So instead of chasing him down, I personally would move over to the farm. It's guaranteed gold. So look how much golden XP is here. Well, you're chasing down, which you might get him. Okay, you do get him. So that's fine. And you do get the kill. So I still personally would have probably gone for the minions because that's guaranteed income. But if you guys knew or whatever that the Kog'Maw was there, obviously it's one thing to say when you're playing the game, you're paying more attention to people's positioning than watching a replay like this, because I'm not directly focused in playing it. Oh, hello, Tryndamere. Gale Force, Flash, use your Q to then enable the ulti if you needed it. Wait for it. Do the shield. Oh, snap. Tryndamere didn't even ult. Okay. So I will say, I probably would have ulted then just to have the shield. But that was a really good play. Really nice attack move. Gets the kill. Gets the, you know, that, well, Tryndamere didn't forget his R key. You can see right up there, he didn't have ultimate up. So that was just a plain mistake by Tryndamere. Kog'Maw going down. Malphite then engaging on the Soraka, but no follow-up. And that's a tier 2 dead. Volibear seems to be very much, I'm split pushing. He is 0-5. He's not had a great game, so maybe he's a bit tilted. And now I'm Vida returning to the fight. But that's, again, really good kill there on Tryndamere. If you played it a little bit wrong here or there, yeah, you probably would have died. Or at least you might have traded. Because I think, well, Tryndamere tower diving a tier 2 tower at this stage of the game without his ulti, he was always going to die in that situation. Naturally. But, yeah, so... Oh, what the hell? Yeah, the Soraka you can see seems to be a bit... Oh, again, you did have vision of Volibear coming for this, so I would say, again... Oh, what am I watching right now? Get it, good positioning over to your... Very nice decision-making to go into that direction, because that was the direction of your teammate, so that's technically safety, which is good. Lilia... Oh, oh, again... Ooh. Okay, one thing I will say, Fighter, that is very noticeable, and again, this is an educational thing. I would say, how do I say it? You didn't A-click. Yeah. It's pretty obvious to me that when you're moving your character, you're right-clicking, and sometimes when you're right-clicking, you're missing the right click on the enemy champion. So what that does is it's actually repositioning Kai'Sa closer to death. So that is what I would say. To me, it's quite obvious that's what you're doing. It's a weird kill. So I would very much get in the habit of definitely A-clicking, attack moving, because that would actually, of this game so far, I would say 2 of your deaths have been because of your right-clicking, and you're occasionally missing your right click. That it's fine if you're accurate with your right click, you're right clicking to auto, but like for example, if you're right clicking on this Tryndamere and you miss him and you just click to the right of Tryndamere, then you're actively moving your character to the Tryndamere, which you don't want to do. So that is what I would say, is to me that seems to be probably so far your biggest weakness. Good decision making, by the way, to do the dragon. I like that. But yeah, that to me so far is the biggest thing I would say that you need to work on mechanically, is either being more accurate with your right click and making sure you're actually hitting them, or very much using attack move, because attack move so far this game would keep your distance between the enemy and you, and would likely have already saved you at least 2 times. Well, it would have saved you at least once, probably 2 times in deaths. Hey Hawkeye, how you doing? So that's what I would say. So that is something that hopefully from this video and hopefully from this commentary, maybe you knew, maybe you didn't, but hopefully that is something that you can really start focusing on, because that, I would say, already in your game, nice little combo by the enemy team, that is already something in your game I would say is going to improve your game a lot. Just straight away, as an AD carry player, it would definitely save you a few deaths, and also not even just save you a few deaths, it's going to make you do more damage, because right now you're not maximizing your auto attacks because you're moving sometimes when you shouldn't. So if you're attack moving, it means that you're positioning as close, or like as far away as the death enemy is, but maximizing the autos. So that's what I would say. By default, if you've not changed any keybinds, it should be set to the A key. You A and click, and that will then attack move. And what does attack move mean, by the way, for those that might not know? So attack move is you A click. So if I had my mouse here and A clicked, oh god, that's a team fight view. If I press A and click on, let's say, this bush. I'm going to pause just to explain it. If I A to here, so if I'm standing here and I A click to here and I'm a melee champion, it will simply move me from here to here if there's nothing to attack. But if I am here and I A click into that bush, but there's an enemy between me and that bush, what it will do is it will path me on this direction, but because I'm A attack clicking to that bush, oh, there's an enemy there, I'm going to attack that instead of walking all the way to that bush. If you just right click, if you're standing here and then there's an enemy between you and that bush and you just right click to that bush, it'll just move you to that bush, ignoring the enemy champion. So that's the big deal about attack moving. There are, yeah, Deja just mentioned, there is 2 different types of attack move. There's just standard attack move that includes champions and minions. It encompasses all. There is also simply player attack move or champion attack move that it will ignore minions and only go for players. I will just say this right now. I do not use that. I only use standard attack move. I don't think you need to bother with player attack move. If you want to, that's fine. But I don't even bother. And, you know, I'm Master EU West and I don't do player attack move. I just do the standard attack move and it works perfectly fine. So that's what I would say. Anyway, let's continue. And, well, just to also mention, can I actually find it here? Nice kill there. Hotkeys. No, I can't. It's not in the hotkeys of the replay. So, yeah. But it is there. All right, so good aggression. Doesn't get the final kill, but that's fine. Be a bit patient. Ooh, Echo's not being a bit patient. He's got ultimate, though, and he does ultimate back there. Killing the tier 2 as I think the fight kind of ramps down. And yeah, really good pressure, good engage, and not bad at all. One thing, obviously, I will say that is obviously a weakness of mine that I want you to keep doing, Fighter, is continuously keep farming. Obviously, it's harder when you all start grouping, especially with how fed this Yasuo is. He obviously will, well, he's going to kill minions pretty damn quick. So you're competing with farm when a Yasuo is there. You can definitely tell, yeah, the Soraka's an all-typer. Again, it's just not worth all-typing because, again, what is the Soraka gaining from all-typing? All this Soraka is telling Fighter and Fighter's team is, this Soraka's tilted. That is literally all I'm getting from this Soraka, is it's a target on her back going, she's tilted. She's being negative. Her team's going to be feeling a bit worse because she's all typing if they're reading it. If you kill her a bunch, she's going to tilt even quicker and easier. That's all that's doing, is giving the enemy team complete advantage because of the typing. Big ultimate by Malphite into the Kai'Sa ultimate to the back line, which, again, I would say is fine. I would honestly keep moving outwards, which is exactly what you're doing, which is great. Good positioning. And then hopefully finally kills the Volibear too. Doesn't need the flash, but that's fine. Flash was a bit odd there. Do you need a screenshot for where to fly into player attack move? No, it should be fine. I think it's pretty obvious. It's in keybinds, attacks, or something like that, and it's literally called attack move, and it's default, I think, on A. I think people will be able to find it. What I would say, and we'll mention, apart from what we've mentioned already this game, the big thing of right-clicking, etc., your team fight positioning is actually really good. Of exactly like I was mentioning of like, oh, I would ult and then, continue going that way. That's exactly what you were doing. Even down here, you were playing it patient. So a lot of your fights, you're exactly doing what you should be, which is a really good thing. So well done for that. So Fighter says, I ulted for the Kog'Maw first to get him off the board, then moved on to Raka. That was the target. Thought that was the target priority. Yeah, again, Karma's the bottom of the target priority. This player is incredibly weak. Kog'Maw, you could argue Tryndamere because he's more fed, but Kog'Maw is more immobile and Tryndamere has his ultimate to survive. So for you as an AD carry, I actually think you're completely correct. I think Kog'Maw, then Soraka. Could even be Soraka first if she's out of position. And then, yeah, just kill the rest of them as you see them. So no, that's correct too. So that's really good, honestly. Very nice. And I genuinely feel, Fighter, if you can start training yourself for the attack move and starting to use that in your gameplay, you're going to see a really big difference because everything else is completely fine. Tryndamere forgot to press R. But yeah, no, honestly, everything is completely fine from what I'm seeing. The biggest thing is just sorting out that right-clicking and using attack move more. And I think you're on the path to, again, your peak was Silver 2. I think you'll be on the way. Like, you know, hopefully even if you've never used attack move as an AD carry main, let's try to aim for gold potentially. Obviously, let's first aim for silver again. And then after that, let's hopefully go for gold. I like the ult. Again, there are times that you might be like, oh, dude, you're ulting on top of a Volibear. There are times that it's 100% the right thing to do, and that was one of them. He doesn't have kill angle on you, and you have pick potential on him. 100% the right move. So again, good decision making there too. What I would say is, Coda with the gift is of the bad cubby. Roaming around now by yourself, I potentially would have gone bot lane. Your team is pushing in. Go for that free inhibitor is what I personally would have done instead of going top lane. That's what I would have done. I would have been, you know, they do have a Tryndamere. They do have a Kog'Maw. I wouldn't give them any late game potential comebacks. And as a team in bot lane, I think that would have been the better move instead of going top lane is what I would personally say. You are obviously gaining gold. You're gaining farm. You're getting a tier 2 tower, but still. So enemy team, sorry, your team going quite aggro. Nice by Yasuo again. As we said, he might be some type of smurf. But, you know, in the base, at this stage, I would probably just go for base towers with the Yasuo. Volibear looking aggressive. Back him up. Ooh, does go down, unfortunately, for the Yasuo. Bit of overstay. And obviously, hindsight is, yeah, I probably would have gone for the towers with the Yasuo, but then the Yasuo kind of went too aggressive. But you do actually, with the minions' help, break open the tier 3 in top lane. So that's not bad either. Absolutely not bad. So 8-3-11, 179 farm. You're up there with one of the most highest in farm in the game. You're now tied with the Yasuo. So everything is really good. I really like it. Build-wise, seems to be just a completely standard build. I also like, and I respect, that you've kept just the executioners. I think it would have been a waste upgrading it early, and you haven't, so I think that's a good thing, so well done there. Your power spikes are heavier with those other items than finishing the executioner's full item. But no, everything is good. Going for red buff. And then what I would be wanting from blue team is group probably bot lane and finally break that open. Now, hilariously, Echo's just done it by himself. Not really expecting that. And now he is being very much flanked. Soraka, though. Oh, Echo did not have map awareness there. I think he's probably alive, though, because the Karma, again, is very weak. Kai'Sa W has landed. Be patient here. 100% be patient. Don't know if you needed to do that because now you're further away from the fight. Malphite ultimate into the Yasuo ultimate into the Kai'Sa ultimate. Okay, good to do. Like, fair enough. You got back into the fight with your ultimate. Get a kill, so does Yasuo. You're looking for kills, you can tell. Where, again, just go and end the game. And that will be actually pretty good. So, I'm actually really happy with this. Honestly, fighter. Not many huge things, I would say. There are obviously some. But there's not, like, a gaping massive, like, oh god, you know, there's no control going on. You have control, you know what to do, you know, you're CSing well, you're positioning well in team fights. It's, as we mentioned a few times already, it's just sorting out that attack move as an AD carry main, using attack move so you're not occasionally just walking straight into on top of an enemy. And if you do that, I think you'll be on the way. Yeah, I definitely think you'll be silver easily and you'll be on the way to getting gold. So, yeah. And again, Kai'Sa, nice kill. Kai'Sa's a great solo queue champion. Again, as you said, heavy aggression. And just to remind everybody, this was all in a bot lane game that there was absolutely zero pressure. I'd go full aggressive, full aggressive, full aggressive. Continue autoing there, I would have, personally. I think that would have killed Kog'Maw. A bit more of a confidence aggression because he was distracted at the time with Malphite. He does have Rune, and I'm aware, but still, I think you would have killed him. This was in a game as well that you had basically no lane phase because you had a Malphite and then they had a Soraka that could out-trade you because, again, they're out-trading you, which they, you know, which sucks, but they're out-trading you because you have a Malphite and they're out-sustaining you because they have a Soraka. So, yeah, so considering that was the start to this game, to recover this well and end up getting fed is really good going as well. So, very good. Potentially, Dragon is coming up in 20. I'd go back. I'd potentially say, unless you're waiting for a certain amount of gold for an item, which you've got 2.5, I would go back right now, getting blue buff and, you know, making sure that you can get there for the dragon. Obviously, it goes without saying you've got 3 inhibitors dead, so maybe the enemy team can't even literally leave their base, so maybe it's fine. And yeah, you do complete an item. So again, that's pretty much okay. So you have now completed your Lord Dominic's, which is good. Only thing about that is obviously if you're getting Lord Dominic's, that means that you're not maximizing your executioners, because obviously those items, I believe you can't buy both of them. You only buy one or the other. So maybe this game, you know, you don't need the anti-healing, but maybe this game, the Grievous Wounds version would have been better. Wait, oh no, possibly, but to be honest, you guys are really far ahead. You're snowballing. I don't think it matters too much. I presume the plan would be sell the executioners eventually and buy your final item. Enemy team looking for a desperate Baron. Tryndamere doesn't press ultimate again. Wait, you can buy both of them nowadays? Oh, really? I actually don't really know, because again, I don't play too much AD carry. Oh, can you actually buy both of them? Oh, right, okay. Well, there you go. Fair enough. Apparently, you can buy both of them nowadays. Good to know. See, I'm still learning myself. I still, you know, not every LoL player knows everything. And yeah. Also really good. Fighter, believe it or not, is the highest level in the game. Kog'Maw dead again. Fighter being very close to death. Does survive. And that should be the match. So there we go. Oh, so again, people are saying you can buy both. Okay, then forget me. Even Huz learns stuff in viewer spectate, which is good. But that is going to be it. Thank you very much, Fighter, for letting us watch your game. Honestly, pretty good. It's just that one big thing. And what I want to say is, this kind of goes for most people when it comes to viewer spectates, is I'd love to do these viewer spectates for the people, and then in a few months' time, we do another one to see if it improves, if it gets better. Because yeah, why not? Masters, by the way, yeah, obviously. Again, I'm human, by the way. Like, humans don't know everything. Hell, I didn't even know that champions don't have any base AP the other day. Literally had no idea. Apparently, you only get AP from your runes and items. There is no champion that has base AP in League of Legends or something like that. I'm like, what? I had no idea. But anyway, that is going to be it. If you guys enjoyed, do throw a like on it, throw a comment, throw a subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore our Gloria to live forever. Bring down the dark regime.